Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie, nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Witamy wszystkich na 374 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy czwartek, 25 czerwiec 2020 rok, a tematem dzisiejszym jest 332 warsztat poszukiwaczy wiedzy. Jest to końcówka tego warsztatu i czas od 3 godzin 31 minut do 3 godzin 47 minut. Oraz 333 warsztat poszukiwaczy wiedzy Instytutu Kosmicznego Fundacji Keshe i czas od 37 minut do godziny 58 minut. Tak więc zapraszam po tych warsztatach do zabierania głosu, zawarcia. Może będą jakieś pytania lub odpowiedzi, tak więc też zapraszam. Tak więc zaczynamy.
From the point of view of the mothers, of the creators, that they come to a balanced understanding And in so many ways, we start laying out the structure of the knowledge to come in a new way. As we said, we became post-corona, we became post-war. Now we have to teach that no man goes back to the war. And these teachings, to create a peaceful man, comes directly from the soul of the creator of the soul, which are the mothers. And it needs to be done that way. And as I said, gradually, we try, as we said in the schools, they don't teach about the soul, about the emotion, about how to be a mother or father. Maybe through this way, knowing that these teachings are not for now and a few thousand, a million, listen, they stay as a corner teachings for the future of humanity. The way we refer to the first medical teachings, 48 of them as a cornerstone of the medical teaching, done with Dr. Elia Kostova. These teachings here with these two souls as the mothers to become, because it's pure. They have never felt the love or the hate, or they had to make a difference between the children of this and that, because the soul of their own child will have that. Maybe we start with pure soul, and maybe we come to understand more. Maybe through it, we change our soul, our vision. These are not open discussion tables. This is the way the humanity is going to live. And as I said, and if you go back to the teachings from very first teaching, the cornerstone of every family is a woman. And in that way, if we teach our women the correct way to bring up children, we have saved humanity from wars, prisons, courts, and the police, and the rest of it. And in a way, we show them a way to live what I call the universal way, that they can have whatever they need. Even is beyond their imagination, but if it's their soul think and ask, will receive. We teach, but teachings from now on become very much not to what we see on the screen and the punishment. It comes to the point that we never do wrong to be punished for, because we learn a new way. And we need the mothers to teach us the new way. And in so many ways, we don't become any more prophets or religious leaders. We come collectively to become part of the totality with the correct conduct. And we run these, as you have seen in the past few weeks, an open discussion like American Talk or the Soul Teaching or the One Planet, One Nation. And we bring most of the teaching on Thursdays, that there is a point of reference, point of understanding, and a point of maturity for the soul of the man. It is easier when the knowledge brought by two than one to become totally one. And this is where this changes. That we see and understand different ways of totality. And somewhere in between sits the way the universe works. Somewhere sits the correct conduct. Somewhere sits to become part of. And in so many ways, they become reflected in the papers and understanding of the. We cannot send our children with a book, a Bible, like every hotel room in Europe has a Bible in it. Are we going to send all these to Mars, to Moon, and give to every man we see across this universe? Or shall we carry the Bible and put it next to Christ and says, this is not what I wrote? That'll be a big embarrassment. As I said to a Catholic priest, I said, if I bring those you wrote in here and what you read here, bring the owners, you call it Paul or whatever, and let him tell you, did he write this or did he mean this? Or is it what is made up to control the soul of the man? The cornerstone of every correct civilization is the mother, the creator of the civilization. And if mankind learns this, mankind moves in the right direction. And this is why we put two women, that between the two, there's always correct outcome, the correct justice outcome for man to be correct in the space of the universe. We create a new race, a peaceful race, a race that the universe wants to be of, to be part of, to be connected with. And in so many ways, when you add the love which mankind has, and you see through the heart of a woman, is one of the best ways to start this race, new life. As I said in the teachings before, it's not that the people come from other part of this creation to be here to show the knowledge of physicality. Man has a knowledge of love, which the whole universe envies, the way mankind loves and devotes for that emotion which does not exist in other creatures. They come here to learn. It's like you take a souvenir when you go to somewhere, they want to take a souvenir of what it means to love. How do you package it as an emotion? Douglas writes, we teach to our children the simple truth of the direct connection between the soul of the man and the creator, as it is done in the universe. If we ask directly, we shall receive what is needed. This is exactly what I always say. I ask and is needed, I receive, because I learn not to ask if it's not needed. And because of that, you always receive. And this is why in my teachings I always say, I'll get what I ask and never fail. shall we call it the day? It's nearly 1 o'clock. And the two ladies, would you like to tell us anything before we go? Or shall we call upon your souls? Would you like to share something? Silence.
Yes, thank you. This is very enlightened words both you and Douglas bring to me. And I think I understand that now. In Chinese, we had a words. We say the Bodhisattva is afraid of the cause, and the normal people, they are afraid of the result. So that means like they sense, they always before they do wrong, they know that. So they're forbidden to do wrong, to afraid of the result. So and I think I learned that if what do you say, like if I don't need, I don't ask, or if what I need is always for the ultimate God, for all the oneness benefit, I mean to benefit all of us, then I ask, and no harm to nobody, and I give that wish to the Creator and try and to say what I can get from that.
You said Bodhisattva. Can you explain to us what it is?
Yeah, Bodhisattva, I think it's a word from a Buddhist. That means Bodhisattva is a enlightenment human or creature. But she or himself enlightenment, and also he enlightenment others. So that's we call it a Bodhisattva.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything from other soul? It is interesting. Is there anything you want to say, or we keep silence?
It's just a lot to process, so nothing at the moment. Thank you.
You will see two contrast souls, and it's amazing how two are and how deep thinkers they are, and they always look at one dimension of physicality and dimension of the soul, and a combination of the two. I don't think we could bring any better combination than these two for mankind to find a new way to live the correct way, and in a way, a balanced way. Thank you very much for today. And I think we'll leave it to that. So many ways. I have one wish, and my wish is very open, because I know the ultimate what will bring for mankind. And maybe, putting it in an open way will carry more with all of us with it. I have one wish, and that's the elevation of the soul of His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, that his soul brings that bridge between knowledge and theology and religion, where we take in the knowledge to Iran, and he brings the soul of religions to become one. And as we see it, there could be no better soul than the soul of His Eminence, where man of knowledge and religion sits in one, and understands in bringing the two together as one will bring the ultimate change for humanity. And when one religious leader brings that in, the rest will follow, and mankind will walk the path of peace. Maybe that's why we went to Iran. And maybe that's why the technology will emerge from Iran, where the science and religion become one. And I know this is a very narrow window, as he has a very old age in his package. And before his departure, will bring that ultimate goal of merging the science and religion to become one, that mankind finds peace and with it enters the universal community. If it comes outside religious circle, will become white. If it comes within, will create peace. And there is no wish more than the elevation of the soul of His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran to take that last step before his departure to bring the religions and science that becomes one, that will reach the dimension of interaction and opening of this planet with a new science and technology in the safe hand of the nation of Iran with their soul. A peaceful nation and deep thinkers and knowledgeable. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that lovely vision, Mr. Keshe. Okay, I believe that wraps it up for the 332nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Tak więc zaczynamy kolejny warsztat 333.
Thank you very much. We'll let you come back in the middle, and that's just structured that we keep on promoting the products right across. There's still the pen and the pads in the background are still looming and they're working. And we'll build up the structure of the Keshe Foundation. As I said months ago, after betrayal by the Italians of the Keshe Foundation, we bring the Keshe Foundation in a much more powerful way back in, and you will see it. We will raise slowly the products across hundreds and hundreds, and the foundation has taken a new shape, a new dimension. And a man who learns from the mistakes of trusting humans will come back in much stronger way. The main thing in life for all of us is not to be afraid of making mistakes, but once you learn from it, you become stronger because that mistake was there for you to learn from. If you carry on with the same mistake, then it's a mistake. And as you've seen, Keshe Foundation has come back totally different shape, different structure, because we learn one thing: we trust our soul, and we know we do things the right way. And as you've seen, the product range will go back into what the structure was, but it's done controlled through the Keshe Foundation directly. We lost trust in man, but we believe and trust in the soul of the man. So we change the behavior from inside. And with it, if you look at the products which are here, even when you look at the soap, it carries a specific part of the GAN's production. And in that process, when you wash your hand and wash your face with the soap, you already created the environment around you first thing in the morning. This is not a normal soap, it's a soap of the soul. And it builds into the next step. Your life changes from the first time you open your eyes, you wash yourself, you carry the fields. And in the next step, if you woke up with it, it's the same, you're already being it. Creating a hole in the condition is the change. When you shake hands with somebody else, which carries the soap in your hand, you pass the same soul, the same emotion. This is how we do. As we saw, Corona brought division, separation. This soap is a soap of peace, and it brings people together. When you shake hands, you know you're not afraid of, you might catch. You got to be afraid of how much I get people to catch up with me, with what I carry, with my energy, with my soul. We enter the dimension of technology that we start affecting each other. The difference is Corona infects the soul, the pillow, the environment we affect, which means we bring that peace, that emotion, and gradually build it up. I choose all these products specifically in a pattern of work, not randomly, because it has to bring first peace at home, and then you convey it on. You wash the hand, what does happen? You're already carrying both the disinfecting and the love and the care. You touch your child, you touch your husband, your wife, you touch your friend, that emotion carries on. But you have to remember something else. You wash it down the drain and it still feeds the environment. I work on a specific pattern, and the same way I set up everything to do with the governments. We come in a specific way, both from the top and the bottom, to change the soul of the man. In so many ways, the change has come, but in a way, we use the technology to reach direct across in a hidden way, in an open way, maybe in the future in a bigger way into the universal community. Depends how man gets ready for that transition. In the coming weeks, as I said, in response to the Iranian government, direct move, we respond directly. The enhancement unit and the new material production unit, if the final agreement reached with the Iranian officials, will be shown in Tehran in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And in that step, we keep our promise. At the same time, when it's held in Iran, world ambassadors and world leaders will be invited to be present. We collectively, as one nation, through our ambassadors, we celebrate the coming of the new technology. If and on time we reach that point, hopefully, as we promised, in the next phase with the collaboration of the world leaders and governments, we'll see through a rapid extension and evolution in science and technology by creating jobs, which millions of jobs which are lost through Corona will become again ready, labor, educated for the new cycle. In so many ways, Keshe Foundation has moved to a position that will show by example. We show by what we deliver, we show with what we have, and we show how it needs to be done. In the background, we see a lot of changes. Can we go back to our public pictures, please? In the background, we'll see and we develop new science, new technologies. In so many ways, one of the biggest problems for you as knowledge seekers, especially in the past 2 years, has been how will it show itself? How does it show itself? How does it develop itself that I can see my soul? I can see the effect of it. I can be part of it. It's a stranger to me, but I know it's me. But it's me which I don't know, but it's been part of my life. It's created me. One of the biggest problems for mankind has been to be physical and tangible, as we say, which is more and more promoted by the Western style to create mayhem amongst man, and as the pattern has been through religion, to create doubts that you divide and rule. British policy very effectively has worked, dividing nations inside the nation's rule. But what they have done, they have divided inside us. The more you divide the soul from the physicality, the more you can bring mysticism, control, and in so many ways, divert the man from the truth about himself. In a way, British structure of divide and rule was set and closely trained by the religious people. Let the man not see his soul, let the man not feel his soul, then we can capture and control the physicality. But now with this knowledge, is man to see, the man to understand, for the man to move to the next step. You cannot draw a machine for the soul, you cannot draw a system for the soul of physicality, but now how do we recognize it? How do we know it? How do we know what arrangement the soul has made with the other souls that the physicality has to follow? In so many ways, when you get to a point, when you get to a destination, then you understand, if you're wise enough to look back, how did I get there? Why did I get there? What was the reason I got there? And who did it? You live an abusive life, you end up with a cancer. And the time of the cancer appears is precisely where it should be felt, by whom, by where, and by what reason. You plan something else and you end up with affected, and why did it happen? In a way, life of the man has two drivers. One driver, which is a master driver, and one amateur driver, which is the man with the soul of physicality. If you ever been to a driving lesson with you learning and thinking you have the steering wheel and you're driving the car around, but suddenly a car jumps in front of you or a cat jumps on the street, you can't respond. The teacher sitting next to you brakes and takes over the wheel. The teacher is the soul. You're just a physical driver of the car. He tells you left. In hidden way you turn left, but changing the gear, watching the road, watching which car comes is in your hand. But in fact, the decision is made by the teacher, by the instructor next to you. This is how the soul of the man works and how the physicality of man is. The teacher has decided, will take you to a destination. You do not know the destination. Could be the next road, could be a route circle back to the house where he knows he's taking you back. But in fact, you're not aware of it because you're too busy changing gears, watching the roads and the red light and the cat on the street. But the final destination is set by the structure, by the creator, through the soul of the man. And you're nothing but that driver. And the vehicle is your body. You carry instructions, the pains, the suffering, the jumping, the worrying, is with you because the instructor and the teacher and the creator has already decided the destination. You have no say. You only see the result when you end up in front of the house. But in fact, when he picked you up from the house, what else did you expect it than bringing you back to the house to where you started? Did you become wiser? Did you learn more? Did you understand how to handle the car? Did you understand how to carry your emotions while you're driving? This is the process of your physicality. When you get home, did you manage to bring the car back in one piece? Or did you scratch it or crush it or run a few people into a problem because you were a learner driver and you didn't notice, and when you say, oh, sorry. Don't we do this with our physical body? And we still think we are the drivers, where the instructor and the creator have already set the path. Because you made a mistake, you have to start the car again. You scratch the car, you have to pay for it. You jumped knowingly in front of another car while you're learning, and that car crashed another car. You're responsible for it. This is what all these teachings about. For man to know that the driver and the instructor and the vehicle all sit in the same car. I wonder how many times you turn to the instructor and see him while you're so busy driving. As I said to someone, very soon the instructor become invisible because everything's computerized. You won't have a teacher, instructor sitting next to you. The instruction will come through the voice, and the cameras and everything else outside and inside the car monitors. But you're still the passenger with no teacher. But the voice and the soul of the driving and instruction, it still comes to your head. What is the creator? What is the instructor? This is the process that what the man will go through. And this is the ambiguity in the whole cycle of life of man. You want to see the result. You want to see what the end will be. As the instructor. Because you were 5 minutes late, you took a wrong turning, you did not listen. With all the mistakes you made on the way to get back home, you didn't know you're going home. Now you go home. Because in a very short time, when you learn enough and you drove enough, you decide to become that instructor for another soul sitting in the driving seat. You become the sunshine. You become the knowledge. You become the instructor. You become the creator of the future. And if mankind understands this, then he knows where it's coming from and where it's going to. Does it need to see a physical instructor? Or does it believe that the car, through what is set up, will bring him home back safe? In the life of man, there has been a big wall created by the name of fear, religion, belief, fooling oneself between the driver and the instructor. The whole purpose of these teachings is to bring that wall down. And in the whole structure, you have to understand when there is many cars with no instructors and many drivers as students on the same road. The instructors and the computers in the background decide which car to be where, that they do not meet or crash. That when the instruction is given to each driver while learning, collectively knowing everybody is going home, in the background is that they all interact, they all touch. This is what in the near future, what we call central control. A man is moving one step forward towards that position, towards actually in a mechanical way what the creator and the communication between the cars and the instructors and the drivers will do. Now you understand, we are living the life of the soul and the destination, but we've been ignorant to the totality of it. What is the reason? Is us. What is the reason? Is our belief in physicality. What is the reason? Is us not wanting to understand the drivers and the central computer and the connection has already decided in which car where will land and who's going to whose party and who's going to the office and who's going shopping. Because when you decided you left the home, you put shopping center. The other one put come back home, going for the drive, and the other one said going to the office. And in the center, every arrangement made that everybody gets to where they want, but the driver drives. In a way, we are all connected. Our soul decides our destination. We're just the drivers of a physicality, which up to now we didn't know there is a central command. And everybody works to that position to make sure everything is arranged and everybody gets there on time and in peace. Does humanity need to learn more, or do we have to go through the process of understanding? In the coming weeks, we'll start teaching you about what I call three-dimensional non-tangible computers. Line of communication. What I call prerequisite for it has been set. We'll introduce this technology in a very soft way across the world. The present computers will become obsolete. The present system controls become obsolete. I disclosed this technology to Iranian Ministry of Defense University in the past 48 hours. In response to the positive response from the Office of His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran in embracing the technology, we released massive technologies through one university as we see the center of our technology dispenser. The technology of remote transmutation and transportation has been disclosed to the Iranian University in the past 48 hours. Non-tangible systems in full control. It's for the university and the heads of the government of Iran how to dispense this technology across the planet on equal terms. But still stays open to all the knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation. Non-tangible, three-dimensional computers working on what we promised has stuck itself out. I said, always, I receive, I give. In so many ways, knowledge at the edge of science will come in a very soft way, in total understanding. We have disclosed to the Iranian officials transmutation of elements, and we have shown them. We have shown in a very detailed way how the next generation of technologies will come out of Keshe Foundation and needs to be shared. Understanding the knowledge is no good. Comprehending and knowing what it will bring the change. Step by step, I will release the most advanced technologies never seen by man. Some you could not even imagine it could exist. If UFOs were your dream, transmutation instant across the universe and planet will become your nightmare. This technology, as I wished, and I was assured that mankind will stay on track, has started to stick its head out. If you thought you were entangling with cancers, now you have to understand what these cancers mean and how they mean and how they can do and how they can be utilized not only for peace, but for communication, transportation, and most of all, unification with universal community and the rest of humanity. In so many ways, feeding the mankind with the knowledge beyond his imagination will become one of the biggest points for the Keshe Foundation in the coming weeks and months. Understanding of production of materials, very much as you like to do a 3D printer, through transfer of the knowledge on the spot when is needed. The energy is free. The material comes through the universe. And why not to make one plate every day as you need it and transfer its energy back to the universe? You don't need a dishwasher. And you don't need a drawer to keep the cups and plates and everything else. In so many ways, who wants to be a driver of a car when you can drive the soul? In these teachings, we do not teach. As I said, in these teachings, we encourage. In these teachings, we elevate. In these teachings, we create a condition for inspiration, and from it, to understand a new dimension. Is not to embrace, is to, in reality, comprehend the totality. If you understood the transmutation of the elements, and in the unit which is now has arrived in our headquarters to be assembled, and maybe if our team have managed to do their work by the time we leave for this teaching, you will see the enhancement unit in the full, getting to equipped for its next phase in the Keshe Foundation headquarters as it's been received and put together. We try to show the technology and the system step by step, but the working of it and the operation of it and celebration of bringing a new technology into operation will be done in the city of Tehran. Transportation of it back to Iran has to be and is in the hand of the Iranian officials. In this process, we'll show you many things. With a new technology, we will show you, do you need? Do we have? Do we find a position for physicians? When in fact, your soul becomes your physician at the point of the need and time. Don't forget what I said from the beginning. You're the last man standing. You're the physician. You are the physicist. And you're a finder of peace for yourself. In a way, we are going through a transition between the man knowledge and universal knowledge. Some of it will be very hard for you to understand, and some of it will be harder even to comprehend. Comprehending the technology will be the backbone of understanding the totality. I don't need a physical life. I live through the soul. We came to earth to enjoy the physicality, became nothing but pain and sorrow. But in time, will change. Man is too physical, and man enjoys suffering, and nowhere in the universe such a thing exists except in the head of the man. Start learning the process of understanding the work of everything which we have given you. I have hidden many knowledges without even knowledge seekers knowing in the products you see. In time, I'll explain how, step by step. When the product is offered to us, I choose it because I see the bigger picture where it be used. It's not that it's there just as a product. When we put something, it's a bigger structure plan. In so many ways, as I said last week, we put things without you knowing in a position to be. And with it, we elevate the soul step by step, hand by hand, step by step through the soul of the man that the physicality elevates. Don't forget, the driver one day become instructor. And in so many ways, he has to get enough confidence that he can sit behind the seat to drive, knowing that the student still will make the same mistakes as he made when he was a student. In so many ways, humanity will enter a new phase of understanding. Understanding the true operation of his physical life. Understanding that he can sit in the both seats of the instructor and the student, where there is no message lost between the two chairs next to each other with its distance gap of the brain of the man, or what we call the emotion. Then you decide, when you left home, I'm going for a drive, I'm coming home. And you sit on the other side with the driver of physicality, and you drive the car for a drive around the block to enjoy the scenery, and you go home. And in between, you see a friend, You shout, "Come home with me, we have a coffee." Or you stand on the way and you pick up another friend. "Let's go home, we are getting together for a coffee. I came for a drive, we met, let's enjoy." And what you share in the car and in the meeting is the knowledge and the joy of what you know. What you learned in the path of driving from the position of return to the home. Maybe now you understand. Maybe mankind is ready for the next shift. But it has to come through the habit of man, through science and technology and the ethos. What we see is not the abolition of the religions, but changing the position they have created within the soul of the man to teach the man the way we teach, not the way they taught. In so many ways, it's easier to use established line than establishing lines. It takes more time. In that process, what we see is unification of all thoughts on the ethos of what we call theology. What I see in the very near future is mankind to believe in one thing, one creator, but using the fears of the past and pitfalls and mistakes of the past to reach as many as possible. In a way, if you have seen, to establish the Keshe Foundation, it's taken a lot of time and hardship. It's easier to get the Pope to speak the language and the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation, but in the name of one race, one nation, one planet. People believe will change, and people understanding and elevation of the soul of the man will be much more rapid. We know what we do, and we know what is to come. And in so many ways, it's easier to change the mankind in one sweep through already established systems which has taken thousands of years to establish. In so many ways, as I said to our Brazilian friends in asking a question, I felt the hammer and I felt the nail and I felt the pain in going through the hand on the cross. I know the pain of mankind, and I know how we brought mankind to this point. Interfering with mankind through his soul is not our job, but guiding the souls to bring the physicality is our speciality. Which means they have to see the light, not us to show the light. They have to go through the passage of life and learn and add and convert the energies of the universe which is given to them into the thoughts and to action. If you always wondered, why am I doing here? What's my purpose? In a way, you're a machine, you're a system, you're a beauty of the creation, where you take the fields floating in the depth of the universe and you convert it into thoughts, understanding, elevation. It's the beauty of the brain of the man. It's the beauty of understanding it, and the man never understood. In doing that and creating a soul which is well educated, is the same as what you do with the physicality. The soul always learns, because through the process of the understanding of the man, It elevates itself. It adds to its knowledge of what is being feels, and it's become knowledge to teach the other souls. Otherwise, the souls will stay as they were for thousands of years and millions of years. In so many ways, as we said, everything has a strength field, even emotion, even knowledge. And now you understand why mankind and the structure of life like mankind on this planet has a beauty. This conversion of energy to knowledge is one of its attributes. And that knowledge gained and is understood by the soul becomes the knowledge of the Creator. I've made man to love me, which means they give me back the knowledge they created, they developed, they understood, that I can share with the rest of the creation across the universe for betterment and for development. And maybe for the first time, man understands what is his purpose. Nothing on the moon does not think, nothing on the moon does not create anything, nothing on the moon does not have anything to give back to the Creator to elevate him with the knowledge and giving and love. But the human race does. What your thoughts gather, what your souls elevates, becomes the elevation of the soul of the Creator. Every field you add up, every field you sum up, every field you interact, and it leads to thoughts and betterment, which then is passed on to your soul, and it becomes passed on to Creator, is what you call the love. This is what you call giving. And mankind has not understood this process yet. It's not alone that you become a star, beginning of another, but at the same time, you bring so much together by your thoughts, the fields, and converting it to a knowledge. And that knowledge, once gained, becomes the knowledge and given as love back to the Creator. God does not have any banks and does not have any central libraries, but He has His own creation and created things to become the developer of the knowledge and the interaction of it that becomes knowledge to add to the knowledge of the universe. Maybe now you understand more. That's why mankind has been one of the parts and part of the bigger structure of the universal community. What you think, what you develop, becomes part of the knowledge of the Creator. I made you to make children that they may love me, which means they gather the fields which are of me to knowledge and understanding, and by understanding and creating new dimensions, they elevate me that I can elevate those who are elevated by me. Then there is a purpose for man. Even in discovering, even in developing, even in accumulating knowledge, that knowledge can add to the knowledge of others. It is simple if you understand it. It's difficult if it's beyond your intelligence. And in that way, we set the scene for the next step, next operation, next development of technologies which man has never been, could never imagine, and being beyond his expectation, to arrive, to be delivered and protected, to create a condition of peace, and becomes tool of peace. In so many ways, we bring the knowledge of the Creator for man to put it together and come up with new ways of how to be better for the Creator, to be creating. So many ways, the processing of the knowledge and understanding becomes part of the integral life of the man, but now in the dimension of universal level. not as cars and computers on this planet. Mankind has let himself down, not the Creator. But at the same time, the Creator has not left man alone. He's been there to guide him, to nudge him to where he should be, like the instructor who knew from the beginning where he's going to end up. In so many ways, if you've been a student with the instructor, sometimes he takes you around into a corner and then to another street, and you're busy so driving, and he says, stop there. I have another student to pick up after you drop you off at home. And he picks up another driver to be. And while you're standing, getting out of the car, which was not yours, the driver changes at the same instructor, but a new driver instead of physicality. But this time the driver is a doctor and he's already had a few more lessons than you. So it shows the more beauty of the driving, but the car is still the same. The elevation of the soul of the man is nothing but that. The car stays the same. The elevation comes through the change of the soul, elevation of the soul, and understanding the soul of the Creator. In so many ways, there is no other way and simpler way that I can explain the operation of the soul of the man, the physicality of the man, and the operation and connection between the Creator, which is the central to all other instructors, the drivers, and the passengers who are halfway on board to adapt, to increase. We use every way and every means to understand and to disperse knowledge. But we take time for you to gain trust in the knowledge, in using the knowledge, in understanding the best way you can spread the knowledge. We showed you last week what I call what we called the CO2 production tabletop. Why? How? What was the reason that Keshe Foundation decided to put this on the table for you? You dirty the planet, you run your car, you created enough mayhem. Now it's time to clean. Let it produce and put it back in the rivers and in the lakes and in the cities. Convert what was the source of destruction for this planet as what you call CO2 back into useful application. Feed it back that you change the soul of the planet. You've taken enough and now you have to feed it. The amount of energies you put back in is not just only cleaning the atmosphere and the rest which you're praying for, but in the way you convert, you chew it, you make it ready for the planet to take. In a way, the fields will stay, maybe become matter, but the absorbing to the center of the planet core as it's a field transfer will elevate the soul of the planet. I never put things in Keshe Foundation if to me it has not got a purpose. And in so many ways, feed as much as you can back to elevate the soul of the planet, that the whole planet and its citizens, from the dog to the cat to everything else, elevates up to the next level. and in time will bring the change. Maybe the best thing ever happened to mankind was Corona and CO2, where now we create enough energy and we put enough knowledge to work and bring peace, that now this energy of all whatever CO2 did to us become magnetic fields, energy of the planet. And then we have elevated the soul of it. And then, as we say, when you use the cup 1 to get rid of the headache of the man from Corona, by putting these back in, we get rid of the headache of this planet, but it became a headache for it, with what we call the Corona of the planet or the mankind. Maybe we see more. Maybe this is the way you understand. Maybe in converting the matter state, which has become the greed of man, to energy of the matter, which is in the gas state of heat, not only elevates the planet, but its citizens too. As we heard, one of you said, in the Brazilian teaching, how was correct. I put the gas water in the river or in the sea, and suddenly there were so many fishes. They asked me what I put there. If we feed these waters with the gases we have created, maybe they don't need to eat each other, and we change it, and maybe with it, man will change in that process too. As I said, we make arrangements for everything to be on time and the place, and then we show the tool of the use. We made the communication to be ready that the man understands. You won't go as you think you have a mobile phone and you just happen to be there. This is not the knowledge of man to be there, but it's the way you developed it and we use it to help you. Then you created the cars to put all the matter state of this planet into energy, into space, that it taught you so much pain and suffering and whatever you call it. And now we use that to feed back as energy. Billions of years of energy transferred from sun to the earth, captured in these, now is available for earth to use to elevate itself, to make it a peaceful planet. It's no use making man and creating peace on this planet for man when the planet itself still is angry and it still does not work to create a condition of peace for its citizens. It's no use having a party and enjoying when the house is falling apart, when there's thunder and storm, and when there is no security and the riots outside. The riots comes from the life and the cycle of the planet. But we made the citizens peaceful, and having a party cannot be when outside is not at peace. Maybe now you understand. We open the plan step by step, nudge by nudge, that you don't get the feeling of what is all this for? Why was so much suffering? Why so much change? Couldn't we have it from the beginning? But you have to understand, in thousands of years, you're going through the process. We convert the energies to the new understanding and intellect, and new dimension for man to give to his creator by conversion of the fields to knowledge, to emotion. And maybe one of the most important things, the emotion of love, care, which is the essence of the creation. Then you could ask yourself one question, which many of you over years have asked. What is the purpose of me? What is all this to come and go? Now maybe you understand a little bit more, and not all of it. till we don't let free, we cannot see the development. Till we didn't let mankind to do what it does, we could have never learned about love, care, and giving. At the same time that we could give back to bring that to understanding of totality of the universe. What we learn from the man to love, we want, and it will be a pleasure to give this feeling to universe, to fall in love with the way the man does. And when you fall in love unconditionally, and you give everything for your lover, then you understand what contribution man has made and is making to the universe, that it's been so beautiful that even the Creator decided to take residence on this planet, the planet of love and care, of beauty. You thought you are nothing, you thought you have developed nothing, but the essence of love and knowledge which man has created is an example in the universe. The only thing which doesn't match is the animosity of the killing and destroying which spoils the party. And we have come here to change. And we have changed. And in a smaller steps, but orderly way that we understand, will make this planet a peaceful planet. A place where all the citizens of Unicos come to visit. Not only because the Creator has taken his residence for the first time where it can be seen, but to learn how to love, how to share, and how to create. Maybe mankind is wiser. Maybe mankind understands why we have not dispensed with this planet as such. Maybe this planet will stay to live for everlasting. Even if it means we have to move it into another position and dimension to keep is a style of living, to support that the rest of the universe learns from its purpose, from its beauty in loving and giving. Maybe today's teaching has brought you a bit closer to understand more. But you will not get systems, not for a time being. New technologies, not for a time being. If you remember, we did a lot of theoretical teaching before we start showing how to make the reactors. Now we start teaching you to get ready how to meet, to live, and work in the dimension of the universal strength and knowledge. And do not expect to have a reactor in hand and something to rotate. Expect to work through your soul. Understand your soul. Understand the operation of it and trust it. Then a new knowledge will appear. A knowledge of the universe and the knowledge of the souls. Maybe it'll be the time to show something special. And maybe it's time to create that special condition. But for sure, no time has been wasted. Every step was worthwhile. When you put a dough in the oven, you don't expect to be ready and eat it as you put it in. You put the timer on and you wait till every part of the dough has matured and it gives you the bread. At the right taste, the right temperature, and right texture. We put this dough in billions of years ago, and now we are opening the door of the oven to see how it tastes. Is it mature? But one thing, smells good. And surely will taste good. But that's for the mankind to mature to taste it. How about the universe to bring that bread on the table for those to share? In so many ways, in Christ said, this is my blood, this is my body. And that bread becomes the body. And that blood becomes the love of man to give. That's why it's red, in the dimension of physicality and understanding. We hide knowledge in theology, but we hide knowledge in understanding of the emotion. We hide the essence of creation in the life of the man, in the dimension of his ability to create and replicate love, care, and affection. We found nowhere better than earth, as they have managed to accomplish the totality of the self, where the child, at the point of inception, still is in love with his creator, the mother, by instinct, not by teaching. Maybe mankind learns to move in that step and in that direction. When we tell you we create conditions that no one suffers, but everyone will move in a position that is accommodates the whole wishes of the Creator, it's not coincidental when one moves aside for whatever reason, as they serve their purpose for that point to achieve. This is what you got to understand, and understand in full. In time, everyone is stepped aside, because the wish of the Creator is the ultimate wish. But with their pleasure and their achievements and their time. No souls. As he said, if you read the commandments, 21, 22, we do not steal, and it's not our job to steal. But we are wise enough for those who are not happy to move in a position that their soul is at peace, but allows to accommodate what is our wish. We hide many knowledge in languages, but we don't hide the love of a soul. The soul of the Creator for mankind, and at the same time, the beauty which man has brought to the universe. Maybe you understand why, after asking so long, why are we here? What are we doing here? What is the purpose of life? Mankind and totality, this planet, somehow in this mixture of structure, creates love, creates a level of the strength of the fields which we cannot grow anywhere else. It's like a speciality of one tree to one island. And you cannot grow that tree anywhere in any other island but that island, because the temperature, the field, the magnetic field is just created that, and nowhere else can be replicated. So is the earth, is that island. And somehow mankind, through the interaction of the fields of this planet, has same common denominator as the fish, as the cat, as the tree. They love to love. They love to love and show their love in different ways. Fishes play love game, as do the birds, as do the trees. So it has to be something in the blood of this planet that it creates this strength. And we cannot replicate it anywhere in the universe. So we create more, to learn more, to be able to export that we have, that we can produce this, replicate this. And as I said, you care what you do for your children, to have the best clothing, to have the best behavior. We care about our children, of the soul of the man, that when they leave this planet, they take that love, that care with them, that they can make the universe to fall in love with itself. And in so many ways, one of these souls, in the essence of his creation, reached the Creator and made the Creator to fall in love with all of his creation. And that is why the earth has become his home. Why do you have to wait when you can be at source? maybe mankind become wise to understanding the totality, that it's not all bad what is on this planet. There's something good we didn't know we have. Maybe with this, mankind will fall in love with his own creation and his own planet. And with what we have given it, brings a peaceful place that the soul of the planet elevates more love and allows the environment of what is created to become sanctuary for the whole of universal community to come to. Maybe you have found an answer. Why do we have so many visitors come and go? And as one knowledge seeker said, it's a good real estate. When the mankind can create everything in the space, why do we need a little dot somewhere nowhere in the middle of the no galaxy and no solar system? But this little dot has created a lot of love, care, understanding of the giving, and that has become a disease in the universe. The land, the island, the planet of love is the insignia of this planet. But as usual, every bad thing has a good things. Every magnetical has a gravitational. It depends what you want to gravitate to or pull in. And that part, which is the bit of a problem for the creator, and that's been the essence of killing, destruction. And soon that'll become a point of the past, and mankind will become the jewel in the crown of the creation. Now you understand, promise. We have never broken a promise. And we always keep and we always deliver. And because we give, we receive what we wish. Does not matter how you twist it. We waited thousands of years to get to this point. We have time, but not much left time. Because all the moves to change, to bring the humanity to that point of peacefulness has arrived. So there is no time to wait. You always celebrate after you win a match. You don't wait 10 years and say, now we're celebrating 10 years ago's match winning. We celebrate as we created peace on this planet and change of the course of humanity. Now, let's see what is the response of mankind to what we have kindly given to man, and see if mankind will become kind to himself to accept such a gift. Sees himself deserving to receive such a gift. See himself as to be part of the gift, for it to become the elevation of the universal community. Sometimes I think it was the best to hide man from the reality of outside till he matures on his own. And I think that was a wise decision. But the beauty of it will be how much more of the same can we create in all the essence of the universal community with all these planets and galaxies and universes. Mankind needs to be more, that through the divisions, subdivisions of the essence of emotion of love can become the reins of the universe. To rain love and care upon all. One of the attributes of Creator came from earth. because he fell in love with this planet thousands of years ago and saw how everything on this planet works on love and care. Now we see the celebration of what we call opening of this little village of earth with such a beautiful commodity and such a beautiful feeling to the rest of the universal community, but it's been kept as a hidden secret with very few citizens know. If you ask yourself why you have so many visitors, they come here to convert to man, to feel, to taste, to understand the essence of loving, while they know the Creator is here too. Maybe the creation of man was not such a bad thing at the end, even though it was accidental. Now you know. And as I said, we start teaching you the technology of the universe as we have started sharing this knowledge with the Iranian Defense University in a smaller steps at a time. Because you have to understand, they need to understand, to defend it from any abuse. It wasn't coincidental we ended up in that university. It was the purpose and the choice that they defended knowledge for the humanity. As there is no more armies, but defended to be used correctly and shared correctly with the rest of the humanity. And maybe the universal community. Maybe it's time to think and contemplate and move and understand. Everything we do has a purpose, even though it might not look, because the master knows how to hide his secrets. We don't tell the driver that I have a clutch and I have a brake and I have an accelerator under my foot, but he knows it's there if something goes wrong. And we know how to use it where and when to put the car in the right gear, the right speed, and brake when it needs. I hope you understood. I hope I've given you an insight in a deeper understanding of the creation. Every teaching is not a tool and a system. This time is the tool for your soul to understand where you come from and what you're destined for and what is to come. After all, it wasn't that bad to make the mankind, but the mankind is too slow, and it makes the Creator the most patient things in the world to wait for thousands of years, to wait and to wait till this child matures. Maybe it's the chemistry of the planet. Maybe it's the field interaction of the planet with itself and its created and the creator. But anyway, overall it's not that bad. It looks good. It's just trying. The hardest part is to be aware of invisible instructor next to you while you're driving that car as a driver. You're a temporary passenger because it will change, and the other one who picked on the way will take over the new seat, and the body will become the what I call prisoners of the new driver to guide him, keep him safe, and take him back to the new home where he started from. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. For the people in the live Zoom room here, the attendees can raise their virtual hands and we can address your questions. There are a number of questions in the Q&A already. Can you read them, Mr. Keshe, or would you like me to read them to you?
It always sounds better when you read.
Okay, well, we'll start at the top and see where we get here. Dean had asked earlier, before the workshop began, in the minutes before, when do we know our soul is speaking to elevate us?
Can you repeat it? I heard that question.
You gave a very short 2-word answer to it, or 3 words, I guess. When do we know our soul is speaking to elevate us?
Why do you have to hear your soul? Why do you have to have your soul hear with your ear? Why do you always have to hear something with your ears? Why don't you trust the emotion of the soul? Why do we have to be always in the dimension of physicality? I have to feel it, see it, to believe it. Aren't you here? Aren't you hearing? Aren't you learning? We teach you from inside out, but we made a voice to it that you believe it. Now you have to find it. Don't forget, with this dispensation of eternity, we have brought no profit. We left it to you according to the maturity of your soul and your understanding to mature to the point of understanding the totality. As I said, we leave no profits behind because now you are the guide, you are the instructor of that physical dimension. This is the problem. You got to learn. If you are here at this point in time, the central, what I call instruction, has already made this decision where you have to be and why you are there. And that is your soul. You got to understand very simple process. And the sooner mankind understand this, the faster we can take this next step. You have your physicality and you have a soul. And this soul has immediate souls, which has lived and lived with. And this soul at the same time has the souls which led to its creation, which through the line led to its creation. Because these souls have to balance with all other souls. You have a short-term responsibility and a long-term responsibility to your physicality. And when you're born, you fulfill both. It's not just your birth and this cycle. What your forefathers did has brought you here, because what he did wrong or right has positioned you here in any shape or form. Partially, you're fulfilling the destiny of your physicality and the soul, but partially, you're fulfilling the lineage which comes to you to be in that position. Even if you're a cleaner of a street, or even you're a king and the leader of a nation. If you follow the lineage, you might have been a king here, where your great-grandchildren become a cleaner here. But the soul is the same. The dimension of the physicality has changed. And when we created the prophets, we followed the same rule. That is why we know where and who appears where. And in points, we give gifts to the others to be elevated to. In our work, there is no accidental. We see the position and we decide that both are served, the time and the place, and the lineage and the structure, the way we set up. This is how we can say, in such a time will come such a prophet, because we have already decided the lineage. We allow no interference from outside when we sit. At the same time, we gift at points for others to be in the future the creator and lineage in other positions of the universe as they take their positions. As they have learned and matured, they take their positions. So the lineage and life on this planet through the physicality does not end with this planet. And this is why in other teachings I've said, you have to care for your soul, what it does, and it will break. Then you want to hear your soul, or you want to see your soul. Any other question?
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia na dzisiaj. Z tego co wiem, to Przemka dzisiaj nie będzie. Tak więc jakby ktoś chciał coś dodać od siebie, coś powiedzieć lub miałby jakieś pytanie, na które byśmy mogli wspólnie odpowiedzieć, to zapraszam. Jeśli nie ma pytań, to może dodam. Cały warsztat był, by znaleźć kompas swojej duszy lub, tak jak według mnie, odczuć, którą ścieżką podążać. Tak ja to odebrałem. I z warsztatu na warsztat kolejny jakby stajemy się tym instruktorem z poziomu duszy, gdzie coraz bardziej to zaczynamy rozumieć. Było też o wprowadzeniu nowych systemów. Zobaczymy, jak to się potoczy dalej. Głównie chodzi o przekazywanie wiedzy irańskim władzom. To też zobaczymy. No i zobaczymy, jak to ogólnie już niebawem, jakie zmiany zajdą w społeczności. Pewnie każdy zadaje sobie to pytanie, ja również. Tak więc przekazujmy sobie wiedzę. I zapraszam na kolejne spotkanie w niedzielę. A to było 374. spotkanie poszukiwaczy wiedzy z czwartku 25 czerwca 2020 roku. Tak więc dziękuję za przetłumaczenie tego warsztatu i kolejnego, który będzie już jest w trakcie tłumaczenia. Tak więc do usłyszenia. Życzę dobrej nocy i bądźcie w pokoju. Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie, nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka. który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni. Nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.